Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm just gonna cut it short, not gonna talk too much. I'm just gonna say that in my previous video which was traveling from India to Australia, a lot of you guys commented asking about immigration and other stuff. So I decided that I would make a separate video about that so that you guys can, like, if you guys have any other questions, so you guys can check this video out. So without any further ado, let's just get into the video. So the first thing is that I'll tell you guys that there are like दो type के flights होते हैं. One is commercial flights and one is the DFAT flight. So DFAT flight is basically government facilitated flights and उसमें usually 14 days quarantine रहता है. If you choose the government facilitated flights, which only move from Delhi to Darwin, and then from Darwin you have to take another flight, so you'll have to do a 14-day quarantine in Darwin. That's why we did not choose that flight, and हमने choose किया commercial flight, that is the Air India flight, and obviously the price also varies. So I will be particularly talking about from Mumbai to Sydney what all I did, like all the documents and stuff, what all I needed, and I'm pretty sure that it's same everywhere and you guys will also be needing all these, so this helps. First things first, I was traveling by Air India, so but usually like हर एक flights का same requirement रहता है. So first requirement was the RT-PCR test. हर एक flight, like if you say maybe Air India or Qatar Airways or Etihad or Emirates, or at this point even if we talk about the DFAT flights, they have the same RT-PCR requirements. That is, if you are leaving on a particular date, you need to do the RT-PCR test 72 hours before departing. For example, I'll just like break it down to you because it's a bit confusing. So for example, I was leaving on 20th November. So I had done my RT-PCR test on 18th of November. Okay. Also I've written everything down so that I can tell you guys properly. Okay. The next thing is that एक और चीज़ है that when you get the RT-PCR test done, there are few things that should be in the copy, RT-PCR copy. It needs QR code, your full name, date of birth, and your passport number. These four things are very, very, very important as it has almost all of your information, and it helps the person who's checking your details. It helps them a lot with that. And usually there are ICMR labs who usually provide all these information in the RT-PCR test, but you can call them as in your nearest RT-PCR labs. You can call them and ask them if they have all these requirements, and I will also be giving you guys the link of the ICMR lab in the description, so definitely check it out. So next I'll be talking about the Air India flight that I took. So in Air India, the luggage weight was 30 for the check-in, 30 kgs for check-in, and 7 kgs for the cabin bag. So check-in, usually you can like part it in two bags, like 15 kgs in one bag and other 15 kgs in another bag. Like I did that. You can take in the same bag, but I would suggest using two different bags. Also, one thing that happened with us was my brother, he got his toy gun with himself, like in the cabin bag. So they took it. The security in Mumbai, they took it. Like they didn't allow us to take the toy with us, even though we told them that it was a toy and it would do no harm. But yeah, they took it away and it was a whole other mess. But I would suggest that if you are bringing your child with yourself, like obviously you would, and if your child is getting some toys, do not bring any toys like the gun. So because like it would be a mess. So don't do that. And अगर तुम लोग कोई jewelry पहन के आ रहे हो, like necklace है या something, तो bag में डालने से अच्छा खुद पहन के आ जाओ. Like wear your jewelry, like your rings, earrings, necklace, just wear it. It will be much safer. Also, Air India flights have a lot of food options, like for vegetarians and non-vegetarian, like any type of food you want, they have a lot of food options. So that is one thing that will help. And bag में, when you are getting some food items, Suppose like you're getting pulses, so don't get pulses because they will throw it away and that will be a waste of money. They will throw the pulses away. And if you're getting like spices like either chili powder or maybe cinnamon powder, so like get it into like grounded, like powder में बना के उसको लेकर आना, like full मत लेकर आना, like cinnamon का stick मत लेकर आना, like cinnamon as in दालचीनी, उसका stick मत लेके आना. या फिर हल्दी लेके आता तो हल्दी का पाउडर लेकर आना, हल्दी का स्टिक मत लाना बिकॉज वो लोग फेंक देंगे. वन मोर थिंग इज दैट व्हेन यू आर रीचिंग द एयरपोर्ट, रीच एटलीस्ट 3.5 hours या फिर 4 hours बिफोर योर फ्लाइट बिकॉज द सिक्योरिटी चेक इज टेकिंग टाइम as it is like because of COVID, it is taking a bit longer in security check and stuff. So yes, reach 3.5 to 4 hours before, just for like not safety reason, but like there should be no problem. That's why. Now next part comes what documents you will be needing. So first and most important is your vaccination proof. It will be very helpful if you are fully vaccinated, and obviously the vaccine should be recognized here in Australia. And as far as I know, Covishield and Covaxin are all recognized, so it should be easy. But yes, bring your vaccination proof and be fully vaccinated. That helps. Second document you'll be needing is the Australian Travel Declaration document. So the travel declaration document is basically something that you have to fill, like your information. It's basically your information, like if you have gotten your RT-PCR test done, or if you had COVID previously, and like if you have taken your vaccinations and all that. So you need to fill the Australian Travel Declaration form 3 days before leaving, 3 or 2 days before leaving. I will give that give the link in the description. So don't worry about that. So first of all, I would like to tell you guys that I am a PR visa holder. So I have a PR, due to which the travel was easy for me as I didn't have any exemption to make. So exemption is basically required for people who are not citizens. So like suppose you are a visitor, like tourist. I don't think tourist visa is being exempted right now, but if you get a chance. So basically, if you are a PR holder or a citizen, you do not need an exemption. अगर तुम लोग PR हो या फिर citizen हो, तुम लोग को exemption की जरूरत नहीं है. But अगर तुम लोग PR नहीं हो तो तुम्हें you guys need an exemption. So don't forget to bring an exemption copy as well. Like bring 2 to 3 copies of that, of everything basically. Next, obviously you need your valid visa copy. So do not forget that. And your passport, another main thing, and your proof of RT-PCR test. Again, bring like 2 to 3 copies of that because we don't know where it might get needed. Another thing is the declaration. So suppose you are bringing, as I said, you're bringing spices. So bring that spices into powder and take a paper, write everything that you're getting so that it becomes easier if they ask any question to you in immigration. So for us, what happened is that when we reached Australia, we had got our balan. Balan is basically the thing that you use to roll chapatis. So we had got a balan, but they told us that it was not allowed to get it here as it was a wooden item, and we did not know that we had to declare that as well. So if you're getting anything, just declare it. Just write it in a piece of paper, like a huge piece of paper. Just write everything that you're getting, like if you're getting Maggie, write about it. If you're getting biscuits, write about it. If you're getting some namkeen stuff, write about it. Just write it. And one more thing I would like to tell you guys is that when we were coming here, we got some Diwali snacks for our mom. So we didn't get it into like the sealed package, right? Because it was homemade. So they told us to, like, if we get it next time, we need to get it in a sealed packet so that they know what it is. So do that. If you're getting some namkeen again, like something like chakli or chura or anything, just get it into its original packaging. Don't open it. Just get it like that and write about it. Okay. Now next, this was a very common question that I got asked in the comments, saying that what questions were asked to me during immigration. So for me, I don't know why, but they didn't ask me any question. Like in Mumbai, no questions were asked. In Delhi, they just took my passport for the identification. They asked me to put my mask down. मेरा identification देखा वो लोग ने, and they gave me my passport back, and yeah, that's it. Next thing I would like to say, this is when I was in the flight from Delhi to Sydney. So when we were just about to reach Sydney, they gave us one form thingy. Now I don't know what that form is called, but again it had, like, we had to give our information in that, and like if we had like any, if we had like cold or cough or any fever, anything, we had to write it down in that. Again, declaration of items. They had literally had a whole page where they asked if we were bringing any spices or any wooden items, which we did not think about that balan would go in there. But yeah, tick that also if you're bringing a balan. And obviously your spices, your anything that you're getting, just read that form carefully. Now this thing that I'm going to tell you guys is very important. So there were a lot of people who are staying in Australia and their parents who are elderly are coming here. तो जिनके पेरेंट्स इंडिया से ऑस्ट्रेलिया अकेले आ रहे हैं, दिस इज फॉर देम. सो I experienced this. Like there was one lady who was sitting next to me, and her family was already here in Australia. She was coming alone. So like there are a lot of people who will help in flights. I helped that lady as well. So if you're sending your elderly parent alone, just give your contact details in Australia, like your phone number, your address in Australia, your email ID, everything, so that it will be easier for them to write your contact details. Like I helped the lady, but her family did not give their address, so which was difficult, and that place was left blank. So don't do that. Give your parents the proper information, like your phone number in Australia, your address here, and your email ID. Important things, okay? Do not forget that. Lastly, again in Australia, when I reached, they asked me about the declaration. As I told you guys, that when I came here in Australia, in Sydney, they asked me about my declaration for the wooden item, which I had not declared. So don't do that. Declare everything. And they just checked my identity again. Like they just saw my passport, asked me to put my mask down, and just checked my identity. Secondly, so I would like to say this is that I went through Air India and not DFAT, okay? So we did not have quarantine because Sydney NSW didn't have quarantine requirements. Their only requirement was that if you are a PR or a citizen, you need to be fully vaccinated so that you don't fall under any quarantine requirements. That's why I did not quarantine. But every state in Australia have different quarantine requirements. So if you are suppose going to maybe Melbourne or maybe Brisbane, so just look out for their, just check it on the internet about their quarantine process so that you guys know about it. Also, when I reached here in Sydney, I had to do an RT-PCR test 3 days later. So after coming to Sydney, I had to do RT-PCR test twice. So basically I did 3 RT-PCR tests, 1 in Mumbai and 2 in Sydney. So don't forget about that. Also, lastly, I would like to say is that I would recommend you guys to join a Facebook group that is called Australians Stuck in India. So basically it's a group for all the Australian people, citizens, maybe students or PR holders who are still in India and who want to come here. So that group helps a lot, and it helped me as well. I was in the group, and they also have a lot of WhatsApp groups that help. So don't forget to join that group. I will give the link in the description. Every link will be in the description, which is important. And yeah, that is it, I guess. If you guys have any other queries, don't hesitate to ask me. I will definitely reply to you guys in the comments, either on the comments, or you can DM me on Instagram. I will definitely reply to you. And yeah, that's it. I hope this video helps you guys, whoever is coming from India to Australia. Just all the best for your journey, and hope you guys have a safe journey. And yeah, don't forget to share this video for anyone else who is in need to in need to come to Australia. So this would be helpful, and I hope you guys found this video helpful. Yeah, bye.